Adam.
Hi.
So you're a Turkish student, right?
Yeah.
And you lived abroad for a semester.
Yes, that's right.
So how did living in Madrid for a semester affect your life and language choices?
Living there, we had to learn a little bit of Spanish to get by. When ordering food, buying something, we needed to know Spanish because a lot of people don't even know English there. Because it's a central part of Spain where they're more cultural. It's not like Barcelona where it's more touristic and more people probably know English. So yeah, we did need to learn Spanish for that.
Hello, Onur. So I know that you lived in Berlin during your high school years, and could you tell me how did this affect your life and your language choices?
So Berlin, it's a big city, and everybody there speaks German and English. So I was never really pressured to learn the language, but it still was easy to me when I just spoke English there. But still, learning German, it has a lot of benefits, as you could guess, and it made my life much easier.
Hi James, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good, thank you. So you're American and you lived in Istanbul your whole life. And how did this affect your life and your language choices?
Well, it was difficult getting adjusted at first because, as you know, English and Turkish, they're two very different languages. But growing up in Turkey, I had a lot of Turkish friends, so from them and from school, I kind of learned Turkish and become fluent in Turkish over the years.
Hello, Oya. So I know that you moved to Connecticut during high school. Could you tell me how this affected your life and how did you adjust to the U.S. lifestyle?
So moving to the US was a little difficult at first, but after some time I realized that it actually really benefited me, and I really developed as an individual because I've been able to meet a lot of people from different backgrounds. I have many friends from different countries who've moved to the US. I have French friends, Spanish friends, and that they have made me a more aware individual about different cultures. I've been able to learn about different lifestyles. And I can say that the lifestyle in the US is definitely more flexible compared to the lifestyle in the US, in Turkey, I'm sorry. And yeah, I would say the hardest part was speaking English all the time during the day, because in Turkey I was limited to only speaking to Turkish people, and I would always speak Turkish whether it be with my family or my friends. But in the US, I've been able to also learn different languages. Some of my Spanish friends taught me their own language. I know some words in Spanish or in French, and obviously I've improved my English a lot, which has made life so much easier for me. When I travel around the world, it really helps me to speak with people and communicate better in general.
Did you ever feel pressure to speak or learn the Spanish language, and how did it make you feel?
For me, it wasn't a pressure because before even going there, I wanted to learn Spanish, but I knew just a little bit of Spanish, but I wanted to learn more. I was excited for that. So it wasn't something that made me feel bad. It actually pushed me to learn more Spanish, which I liked.
Yeah, I think your classes were taught in German as well. How did this affect your education?
Yeah, half of them were in German and half of them in English. So learning German, it really made my life easier, because otherwise I would fail all my classes, maybe not even graduate high school.
So you speak English at home, right?
Yeah, I speak English with my parents and my little brother.
And you got education in Turkey, so how did this affect your education life as a whole?
Again, at first it was kind of hard classes in Turkish. I had trouble understanding it, but over the years, as I started to learn the language, it was easier. And it's very important to learn Turkish because doing research for Turkish classes and knowing Turkish, that really helped me excel academically.
Also, after moving to the US in high school, you started getting educated in English. So did this ever affect your grades or your education overall?
Yeah, so since before moving to the US, all of my classes were in Turkish, whether it be math or science, so everything was in Turkish. So moving to the US was definitely an adjustment for me, and it was really hard to learn everything in English at first, and it was different. The problem types and the questions, the exam style, the structure, it was different. But I've also adapted to that, and this is actually really helping me throughout my college life as well, because here I'm seeing everything in English. And if I didn't move to the US and if I didn't go through that English education system, I wouldn't have adapted to my university life this easily.
How might language rules at school or work affect someone's family life?
I mean, it can have a substantial effect because in my case, as an American living in Turkey, I had to speak Turkish in school, and that created some communication problems with my friends and family because constantly switching between two languages is not easy, especially if it's two very different languages such as English and Turkish.
I agree. In my case, I studied high school in Turkey, but majority of the stuff was in English, and this created something that's, for example, in my science classes, everything was in English, and now I'm better at communicating in Turkish in normal life circumstances. But when it comes to science or math or something like that, I'm better than English, which is a little a case of imbalance such.
Spot on. So, in my case, I had to learn German from scratch. At least half of the things were in German and half was in English. But they are those two are my second languages. That's why it was hard to alternate between them, because I never use my mother tongue, and it really messed with how I communicate.